What is up, everybody? Welcome to Perspective Gaming. I'm your host Flame078, logging in from the real world to give you perspective, or more specifically, getting perspective. This video series tackles something that's been on my mind, then I spell out my takes, then afterwards we have a discussion in hopes to better understand ourselves. Today's topic, Fortnite is stealing dance moves, but what is behind this controversy? Who is right, who is wrong? Let's get to it. So what is going on here? Well, there have been rising concerns and debate over the emotes that are being sold by Epic Games. And this is stemming from the fact that they are using dance moves from pop culture and taking them away from their creators, rebranding them, and then being sold, leaving the creators of said moves without a cut. The biggest advocates against Epic Games doing are coming from the hip-hop community and the black artists surrounded some of the emotes in the game currently.
There's a growing controversy over Fortnite's use of viral hip-hop dances, which players can buy to customize their avatars in the game. Many are saying a move called the Swipe It in Fortnite is clearly the Milli Rock, a dance introduced by rapper 2 Milli in 2014 and now seen in the halls of high schools across the US.
These emotes in question are putting out the conversation about how Epic Games is stealing essentially from these artists. And really, the question that follows afterwards is, does that argument have a base? Well, you can tackle that from two fronts, the legal front and the moral front. When it comes to the legality of the argument, the insider video that I linked down below will have a great in detail depth of what actually are the ramifications that this controversy has, and I think it does a good job of breaking that argument down into its digestible components. I for one am not doing that part of the argument in this video because that is not my expertise, and I do believe that the legal courts will handle that on its own. I am here to talk about the moral ethical route and how that aspect of the argument really shapes up and what should we really be focusing on when it comes to that front. The moral and ethical front of this debate lies in the core argument that doing what Epic Games is doing is erasing culture and origin. By rebranding, by redistributing dance moves, they are stealing from these artists in that aspect by taking away their credit and their identity. And if you think that's a far-fetched idea, look at this video.
Oh my god! Fortnite!
This one clip of this one video that was released a couple of months ago is everything you need to know of what the moral and ethical front is fighting. The hip-hop artists are fighting for their culture and identity to be retained in these dance moves. This one clip shows a kid from this generation who is growing up and playing Fortnite not recognizing where things come from. And it doesn't matter the impact that, say, the Stoop Dog dance have or the Milli Rock dance has. The fact of the matter is that these dance moves come from a culture and they come from a source. And if you're not representing that source, you're basically writing them away. I mean, sure, I know that that move was drop it like it's hot, that's where it came from and whatnot, but that kid doesn't know any better. He's just started living. He started using the world. It's not his fault. This falls entirely on Fortnite. And the fact of the matter is that this is not okay. So why is this happening? Well, to simply put, this is happening because Epic Games was cheap and they're greedy and they wanted the most money. They're cheap because they didn't want to pay for the name. They didn't reach out to the artist to see what it was called. They just saw something that was pop culture and put it in, renamed it, and if they didn't know it was associated to a song, well, they didn't want to pay licensing for that song. By making everything theirs, or quote unquote theirs, then they can reap in all the benefits and all the profits from those sales. It has nothing to do with social issues. It has everything to do with money. The greed and the efforts of making money by Epic Games is causing some serious social impact. I am all for video games' right of self-expression and sending the message that they want to send. Art should not be bound or restricted by political or social ideals. It should always push the boundaries and create the message they want to create if the creators so make it happen. But that is not what we're talking about in this video. What we're talking about is the way a video game makes money, and that is having a social impact. And we can call out video games on said practices and make them correct it. And you may still be asking yourself, why is this such a big deal? Well, it really just comes down to, would you like it if someone took something that you created and not recognize you for it? Would you like knowing that other people in the world love what you did or created but never knew it came from you? In the simplest of terms, that is what is going on here, and that's why what Epic Games is doing is wrong. Epic Games really needs to fix this in some way, shape, or form. I don't think there's a way around it, or at least maybe just stop doing it in general. Who knows? From here on now, the future of what's going on here will be determined what happens in the courts and what happens in that way, because as we know, money moves things. So if artists are able to get compensation out of this whole thing, it might change what's going on and then directly affect the moral and ethical practices that games will have to face in the future. But only time will tell of what exactly is going on. But we must understand that this is wrong and that we should be fighting for the right of the artists. At least that's how I see it. With that, and to close this video off, I would like to leave you with this question. There are multiple routes that can be taken, but which is the best course of action? How should Epic Games address this issue, and that would really allow for a satisfactory result? Leave your answers down below, because I'm curious to see what my fellow gamers feel about this. Like and share to expand the conversation, and if you like this type of content, I do these kinds of videos once, maybe twice a week. So hit that sub button so you don't miss out. I'll catch you guys soon. This is Perspective Gaming. I'm your host Flame078, logging off for now, and until next time, adios.